In those days, doing physics as a woman was just very strange. 2 of us went on to be physicists out of 100. So I work on the border between physics and biology. So what we're trying to do is see how the ideas of forces and flows, physical ideas and pattern formation are relevant in biology. But what we're doing is trying to understand things, because if you can understand things, maybe you can use them in certain ways. And the particular things we're trying to understand at the moment is how cells move. And that's relevant to the spread of cancers, it's relevant to wound healing, and it's relevant to embryogenesis. Somehow things have to get from the size of a tiny egg. As a tiny human egg starts to grow into a person, cells have to move around and they have to change from one sort of cell to another. They have to decide if they're going to be a heart cell or a brain cell or a toenail cell. I mean, we can stare at things for a long time and not understand them, and maybe we go off on the wrong track and then we try something else. So it's always a struggle, and I've always liked teaching because that gives you something to do when the research isn't going so well. So anything we do will be useful in many years' time, and it wouldn't just be my research, it's the research of many, many fundamental people working in biology and chemistry, mathematics and physics, who are all trying to solve this awful problem. From when I was tiny, I loved looking at patterns in things and trying to understand them, and I was fascinated by the way graphs and equations could be put together with real things. I love doing puzzles. I think I've always wanted to be a theoretical physicist, even before I knew what it was. So maybe when I was about 16 or 17, I realized that what I wanted to do was physics rather than maths. But I went to an all-girls school, and this was weird. In those days, doing physics as a woman was just very strange. 2 of us went on to be physicists out of 100 fairly academic young women. And it's changed now, but then everyone was saying, well, why are you doing physics when you could have done something else? And where that came from, neither of my parents were interested in that sort of thing, no one in the family. And in a way that made it easier, because it was obvious it was me and not someone else. It's getting a bit better. I think women are now accepted that women can be physicists. That was not the case 30 years ago. Now, if you are a woman in physics, people will believe you can do things. And that's changed a lot. And it's much more fun in biophysics where there are more women, I think. What we need to do now, I think, is to really get at people when they're really quite young, so that kids realize that physics is a possibility. And some of them will like it and some of them won't. What we don't want to do is that they decide they don't like it for the wrong reasons, just because they don't believe it's a possibility.